morning, everyone. It's a great time to be a woman. We are fighting for our rights, and people are hearing more and more what we have to say. However, some of us still lack that little support at home. During the times of COVID 19, it has become evident the kind of responsibilities women especially have to juggle. From their kids not going to school, everyone working from home, it is getting more and more difficult for women to handle everything that is out there. Combining that issues with problems such as domestic violence, poverty, unemployment, it can trigger some serious mental health challenges. Welcome to the latest episode of Wake Up to Health Talks. Today we have with us Dr. Khyati Mehtalia, a famous and a renowned psychiatrist, to talk to us about what are the kind of mental health challenges that women especially can face. Welcome, doctor.
Thank you, Apurva. Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you, ma'am. And ma'am, as I said, women, it's a great time to be a woman. I'm sure you would agree. We are moving ahead faster than time. However, this actually brings to us a lot of expectations that we have to fulfill, be it workplaces or be at home. And the men, especially, they're also moving towards supporting their women. But there are some households where that kind of support is still not prevalent. And women have to juggle between various duties. So I am sure that can lead to a lot of mental health challenges. What are the kind of mental health challenges that women especially can face during these times?
See, I'll tell you, if we talk of psychiatric problems, depression, anxiety, psychosomatic problems, almost all of them are 2 to 3 times more prevalent in women as compared to men. And otherwise also, if not actual diagnosis, then also the stress-related problems like simply backache or simply ulcers in the stomach, headache, migraine, etc. Even those are more prevalent in women as compared to men.
As you said that women are 2 to 3 times more prone to these kind of problems. What is the background to it? Is there any environmental challenges that they face? Is there any biological difference there is? Why is that?
Bro, that's a combination of all the factors. Like biological factors are definitely there. We all know about the hormonal changes that a woman undergoes throughout her life. Absolutely. Like every month there is a surge in the level of hormones and then it falls down during the time of periods. Also during the pregnancy, also there is again high level of hormones which suddenly drops down after delivery. Yes. And at the time of menopause also. So you can say menarche, menopause, menstrual cycles, pregnancy, everything is there. So a woman just, you can say, dances around the ups and downs of the hormones. And this hormonal changes are directly related to the mood. These hormones are connected with the serotonin and other neurotransmitters which affect the mood behavior of the woman or say of the person. So as you can say, the stability of hormones in male and the instability of hormones in female, that itself is a very big factor in the you can say psychological problems which a woman undergoes. Not only that, but there are some subtle changes in the brain structure of man and woman in such a way that women have more of ruminative cognitive style. That is, we all have heard that women are more sensitive than men. In any relation, if somebody is disturbed, it is usually the woman who cries more or who is disturbed more. Why? Because their brain is made in such a way that if something happens, it is their tendency to go on ruminating about that, which is very less in men. So again, this is a biological vulnerability of women, which makes them more prone to such stress and such depressive episodes. Moreover, you can say like psychological style. So this is again that ruminative style which I talked about. Besides that, our own culture, you can say not only our culture, the Western culture also. Everybody, like from the beginning, they have projected a woman in such a way like she is either helpless or she has to be submissive. she cannot take her own decision. So this is sort of a learned helplessness which a woman is having. Yeah, agreed that many of us who are like educated and having a position in the society, they have come out from it. But still there are many women who have not. Still they'll be afraid to take their own decisions, to make the changes in the house or in the system which they want to, because they have that in the back of their mind that no, we can't do that. We don't have that right to do anything according to our will.
True, and that kind of stress can actually play a very important role in how they function every day.
Exactly. Like this is a very common thing. We have heard that when an elephant is a baby and the foot of the elephant is tied throughout its childhood. So it tries to move, but it is not able to because the foot is tied. So it learns that I cannot go from here. I cannot be freed. So even when the elephant grows into that baby grows into a big elephant and it has got that strength to pull out that rope or whatever it's tying it, but it won't, because the mindset has become in such a way that no, I can't do that. I have to be tied over here. That is the case of today's woman in like many of the cases, except few of us.
Exactly.
And the third thing, the environmental factors, which you already talked about, that work-life conflict is always there for a woman.
True.
Like balancing between the work and like housework and the professional work. And still, if we talk of our class also, we do have help at, like we can hire help at home.
True.
But those women who are going out for work just for their earning, because the income of the husband is not enough, they cannot even hire help. So they are just like jaise chakki mein piste hain. Just in that way they are going on and like being churned in that conflict of this work and house and kids and everybody.
True. So
that is it.
It's difficult for women to go out and work and balance their household responsibilities as well. So why do you think there is a specific need to focus on women's mental health especially? Is there, if we don't address this mental health issues, can there be any physical challenges to that as
well? You asked like why there is a need. So are you talking from the woman's perspective or from a man's perspective?
From both perspectives.
Okay, I'll tell you about both the perspectives.
Yes.
For the woman, it is necessary because if these stress issues are not addressed well and the woman is left in the condition in which she is there, then she can go for developing mental illnesses, physical illnesses. In physical illnesses, there are so many like you can say skin problems, backaches, headaches, hypertension, diabetes, irritable bowel syndrome, ulcerative colitis, bronchial asthma. These are all psychosomatic problems which are aggravated by stress. So there is a danger of physical ill health to the woman. She can also like succumb to the mental problems like depression, anxiety, other somatoform disorders, and depression, anxieties, like if they go untreated and increase in intensity, that may even lead to suicide.
Absolutely.
And now if you are talking about the men's perspective, then I'll tell you that if a man wants a happy house, then the woman of the house should be happy. If the man wants that his children should be brought up in a healthy way and they grow well, then their mother should be well. So not only if the man doesn't want to consider from the woman's perspective, then from his perspective and also from the perspective of his children, the woman's health is very necessary.
It's well said. It's very important, for a family to be happy, that both of their parents, which includes the mother also, to be happy, so that the future citizens, the future citizens of the country can have a full-grown development. But ma'am, as I said, when you're at home, we all have women in the house. it gets very difficult to understand whether they might be going through any of these mental health challenges. It's very, as you said, that someone might be going from depression, but we might not understand those symptoms. So are there any triggers, or are there any things that we should look out for to understand whether our the ladies in the house are well or not?
Yeah, see, there could be some physical warning signs, and also psychological or behavioral warning signs, which should make us alert that this woman is passing through some stress and needs some help or needs some attention. Like physical symptoms of stress, anxiety could be like there is heavy breathing, like increase in the breathing rate or increase in the heart rate. Like a woman herself will report that I am having increase in the heartbeats. We call it palpitations. That could be she is feeling some tightness in the muscles. The hands become cold. The feet become cold. There could be dryness of mouth. The feeling of butterflies in the stomach. Well, this all are the things which are reported by the woman. Somebody from the outside won't be able to go and see like what is going inside the woman's body. But there are some behavioral signs as well. Like suddenly she starts seeming low, upset. She doesn't take interest in the things which she used to do previously. Like say watching television, talking to friends, talking to family members, enjoying something. And in depression, a person will stop enjoying the things which he or she used to like earlier. There could be changes in the appetite and sleep. Either there is very decreased appetite and weight loss can be there, or the appetite can be increased and weight gain also can be there. Neend nahi aati is a very common complaint by everybody, that throughout like till midnight I just go on thinking and at last I can fall asleep. This is decreased sleep, or you can say sleep disturbance is one symptom. Or in some cases again, reverse can be there. That is, she gets excessive sleep. Even in daytime, she's not able to wake up. Then if we feel that this person is feeling negative, or you can say inferiority complex, if we see that has started developing in somebody, she gets guilt feelings, or she feels like I'm not worth anything. I should die, death wishes, suicidal ideation, thoughts. These are all the symptoms by which we should be looking for in a woman if we want to see whether she is affected or not, whether she is depressed or anxious or not.
True, and these can be very small changes, but it's very important to pay attention to them, so that we might just do away with it ki theek hai ye to kuch bhi ho raha hai, but we should not do that, and we should pay attention to it. Very well said. I mean, small changes have to be paid attention to understand whether everything is okay or not. And ma'am, the last question we have is for all the women in the house. I'm sure everyone is, troubled with this lockdown, where they have to handle the kids, handle their household chores, work-life balance, etc. So, what are the tips that you would suggest to them so that they can stay level-headed and they are not affected by all these changes, and they can get that little bit of peace that they want?
You are right that women are really affected in COVID, but there's a secret which I'll share with you.
Okay.
So many of my friends and my female patients have told me that this lockdown was sort of a golden period for them.
Okay.
Because the husband was there in the house all the time. Some of them had that working from home and some of them were free. So the domestic help, the support which they gave in the lockdown, like that in these years, they never had it before. Like even in cooking, even in sweeping, washing the utensils and everything, many of the husbands have really helped. But unfortunately, this is not true for all the women.
Absolutely.
So the increased workload, the complaint is also that since everybody in the house, everybody is demanding something or the other. Like kids are demanding for some snacks, husband is demanding for tea every 2 hours, all those things, which previously the woman didn't have that burden because everybody used to go out. And even one another thing which many have shared with me, that since the schools are closed, it is really, you can say, toxic thing handling the children, because waking them up for the classes,
True.
asking them to sit for the classes and monitoring them, and that is an added responsibility, especially for the toddlers. It is toddlers and young children, it is expected that the woman has to sit with her children during the online classes. Now, whether she should sit for the classes, or she should cook food, or she should do the other housework, which previously she didn't have to do because the maid was coming, and now the maid was not coming. So this is really an overburden. But what they can do is simply delegation of work. That is just like the example which I gave, that in many of the cases, the husbands really had learned new skills which they didn't know up till now. Similarly, children also have started helping mothers. In case of my friend, there were two children, like 8 years and 10 years. One of them used to sweep and the other one used to mop.
Brilliant.
Which even they didn't know. So yeah, so this way, only if you delegate the work to each and every member of the house, only then you can get some relaxation from this overburden. And besides that, naturally you have to pay attention to your own self. You have to give time to yourself also. You should have a good amount of sleep. Don't forget your exercise. And you have to give some priority to yourself, which is lacking in most of the women. Because their whole routine starts from the morning till night, doing things for the house, for the husband, for the children, for the in-laws, for everybody. And they don't do things for themselves, because one thing, they don't have time, and other thing, if they get time, they feel मेरा तो चलता है, अपने लिए क्या करने का. So they have to come out from this tendency, and they should do things for themselves, because health is wealth. Their own health is also their wealth.
True. Very well said. So the things I take from this conversation is that it's important to, stay connected to your family, and as you said, delegate. Have trust in your family, and they'll also help you out. And also,
yeah, that is also a problem. I have seen women telling that वो बराबर नहीं करेगा, मुझे ही करने दो. अरे नहीं हुआ बराबर, तो that's okay. Yeah, that's okay.
Exactly. You have to trust them that they'll also support you. And as you very well said, focus on yourself. Make yourself a priority too. Only if you're happy, you can keep the environment happy. You can keep the home happy. Thank you, Dr. Khyati. It was a brilliant conversation. I had so much fun talking to you about all of the mental health challenges that women can face. And thank you for joining us. And all the women out there, remember to make yourself a priority, and remember to take time out for yourself and trust the family members. And, support each other, and everything will be just okay. Thank you, Dr. Khyati. And thank you, my viewers. And we'll see you in the next episode of Wake Up to Health.